Hi, so in this video what I want to talk about is a topic that is very interesting, and so the topic that I want to talk about is premonitions and predictive dreams. Now, this being a kind of topic which is it's one of those things that that I'm going to try to approach as rationally as possible in this video. So okay, so I feel I've personally had certain experiences with dreams where it has been in a way that it hasn't necessarily predicted something, but it has given me a better insight into something. And in certain cases, it has been somewhat of a prediction or somewhat of an early sign of something. Or yeah, I guess you could call it that. So the the, sorry, I'm just kind of thinking about how to properly approach this. So the way I feel about this is during the state of dreams, our minds, from my experiences, I feel that our minds are very deeply connected to the subconscious during the state of dreams in a way that it doesn't necessarily connect um, in usual waking life. Now, this is just one of my just a way I like to see this. I'm not necessarily talking about this from a very objective point of view. I'm not saying it from a very objective point of view, but I want to say that our minds connect better to our subconscious during the state of dreams in certain ways. So, and with our subconscious, I feel that there are certain things that, and I kind of touched on this topic in a previous video, is that our subconscious can see certain things and make certain connections about our lives in a better way than we can make them consciously. So if there are a certain amount of variables in our life, the way we see them consciously and the way our subconscious mind sees it is it can create better connections and it can see better patterns in a way that can give you a really good insight as to what our mind can make of it. So with this, the way our minds can connect to the subconscious during the state of dreams, it can give you certain insights about your life which you couldn't figure out with the way you usually think in your waking life. And I think this is where the predictive part of it comes in, because with whatever is going on in your life, with your subconscious mind absorbing all this information and creating its own connections and seeing its own patterns, it can create during the state of dreams, this subconscious mind, it can kind of bleed this information into the dreams. And in certain types of dreams, it can show you what the subconscious has has analyzed, I guess. And in these certain types of dreams, you would be able to make either those dreams will tell you about something in a way that it will give you more insight about it. So let's say maybe there is a certain situation, but you don't really know how you feel about it. Maybe in a dream situation, it can kind of um, you might see it in a different light. And also, one of the other features of dreams is that it sometimes tends to exaggerate whatever characteristics there is of it. So maybe with this information coming in from the subconscious, and maybe with this a bit of an exaggeration, it can give you a better insight as to how you really feel about a certain thing, or how a certain thing is truly seen by your mind. And this is where it can make certain predictive dreams in a way that you might be in a certain situation, and with all of its information being inside your mind, in the state of dream, it can show you a narrative which goes well with how the subconscious mind and has analyzed this information and come to certain conclusions and created certain insights which you do not necessarily see in your waking life. So well, yeah, in that type of a dream, I guess um, it's not too crazy to think that it can give you better insight, and in a way it gives you a predictive kind of dream. Not necessarily that it's always going to be that it's always going to be true, but it can definitely provide a better insight into whatever the situation, um, whatever situation you are in, or whatever situation that you've been thinking about. And I guess in some cases it's not going to be right. In some cases it's going to work. In some cases it's going to be somewhat true and somewhat false. But when it is true, or even when it is somewhat true, I think the information that it can show you is valuable. So yeah, well, that's just a few of my thoughts on this. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to properly articulate myself, because I'm trying to say certain things, but it's just kind of difficult to put it into words in a way that I can make sense. So I'm sorry if I didn't I stuttered too much. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Hopefully you found this useful, and hopefully I made some sense. And yeah, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.